Your child ain't your lottery ticket.
Yes, they are.
Your child ain't your lottery ticket. And you can't look at your lottery ticket when they get married and be like, oh, the wife or the husband, I got my lottery ticket.
Oh, yeah, baby. The money that went out the door.
No.
See, we try to make it too hard. And they want these kids to stay single. They want the kids to stay single because if they're single, I can still get them to help me. I can still have them helping me financially, help them coming and assisting me like a free little nurse. I'm telling y'all, I don't even want y'all to get upset. I want y'all to know how it is because one day you're going to be older too. And if you ain't set yourself up financially, if you haven't set yourself up the right way, you're going to be looking at your kids like, oh, there go my hell.
Oh my. I need to know in the comments, do you all agree? Are people looking at their children like they are the help because they did not set themselves up financially? Oh, this is going to be interesting in the comments.
Right.
And your baby trying to start a whole nother family. They're trying to start their legacy. They trying to build their inheritance. And some of y'all sucking off your children's inheritance.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't leave them an inheritance, so you robbed them already.
Right.
You're robbing them while they're trying to save money and start their own family in inheritance. And then some of y'all taking money and ruining your grandchildren's inheritance. You are wicked. Yes, I said it. Y'all wicked. So you don't want the marriage to survive. Y'all don't want it. Some of y'all don't even understand the opposite is your parents. That's why you can't get married.
Your child ain't your lottery ticket.
Yes, they are.
I fear a lot of parents laugh at things like this or they even say things like this. And I'm not sure if they're laughing because it's easier to laugh about it than to cry about the reality of the situation. What did Outkast say? That's a baby, not a paycheck. Oh! But yes, this is a very serious conversation to have. Many parents, especially in marginalized communities, rely and see their children as the retirement plan, as the help when they get older. And for many of us, it was kind of ingrained in us when we were kids that this is how it's supposed to be. And that's no matter what type of situation, this is what you do. Now, I just want to ask some questions here. What if your child is not doing well financially? All right, yes, you brought them into the earth with this master plan that they are going to be your retirement plan. And what if your child is not successful? Then what happens? Do you have to go back to the drawing board? I'm just asking because there are no guarantees that your child would be able to take care of you when they get older. I don't know where this idea came from, where people sat down and said, my retirement plan is my child, without thinking that this is a person that you're bringing into the earth that would have free will to do, think, and operate on this earth as they please. And granted, I know a lot of people try to instill these sort of things into their children, like, hey, when I get older, you know you're going to take care of me, right? But what if that child goes against what you tried to instill at them at a young age because they have the same free will to think as you? Oh, the ways that this can go. I was just thinking, what if you just had a child because you wanted to bring somebody into the world because you wanted to give them love, attention, affection, give them the best life that you could provide for them? And that's kind of like where I stand. And again, I'm a person with no children. I personally wouldn't bring children here in the sole thought of, hey, who's going to take care of me when I'm older because I'm scared and I haven't thought that far. To me, that's taking a little too far. But to each their own. If I did bring children into the world, I probably would want to bring them into a world where I am providing nothing but the best, top tier everything. And I'm not saying spoil them. I'm saying setting them up for the best life they could possibly have. And I'm not talking bare minimum, just, oh, I fed you, I clothed you, I gave you shelter. You know, the legal stuff that people have to do for their children or they're going to go to jail. You know, truly wanting to do those things and doing for somebody else without expecting anything in return. Without expecting, hey, because I took care of you, you need to take care of me. Imagine growing up knowing that you are essentially a lottery ticket or a retirement plan. Do you think that would build some sort of resentment? I honestly wouldn't be like, oh my gosh, the child is resentful. Like, how dare they be resentful that their parent said that they were essentially a paycheck and a retirement plan like that. Come on now. And don't get me wrong. I would hope that any child that has had a good, loving, supportive, respectful parent, if their parent is in need and they can help out, would help them out. And I kind of think that that's how it goes most of the time. But I also seen the opposite where a lot of parents, but I've also seen where a lot of parents, as they get older, start to build a resentment towards their children because their children aren't taking care of them. And might be because their children can't afford to take care of them. Maybe it's resentment towards the child like, hey, I'm starting to get tired. Like, I'm tired of working. I'm getting old. Why aren't you doing more type of thing? And I think a lot of people experience that. And I'm at the age of 32 where I've seen this happen to a lot of people my age. Because we're the ones with the parents around like 50, 60. Some people got parents in the 70s. And maybe this isn't a topic that's talked about enough, but the pressures that a lot of the children are feeling affects them in their everyday lives. And we see this happen generation after generation, where instead of passing down generational wealth or leaving things for the next generation to actually do better, we have done nothing but pass down generational pressure. And the pressure is this: you need to figure it out, because when it's my turn, when I get old, you got to do what you need to do. By any means, figure a way to take care of your parents, or prepare to feel shame or disappointment. And I just feel like that's not necessarily fair to the kids when the kids didn't ask to be here. And if you were conceived with the thought that you were going to be this person that you didn't know you were going to be, your parents didn't know if you was going to be this person, but you have to live up to the expectations of being that person who is going to be there financially. It can be a lot. And some of the stories I've heard about people talking about what they are expected from their parents and how they described how they didn't really get much from their parents, it kind of makes you think, man, this is kind of one-sided when we talked about reciprocating what you were given. If you weren't given a lot, how do you expect a lot? Because just think about it. If you were given a little and you gave back a little, is that fair? Should there be backlash if that's what you got? I'm just asking. Not because I believe that the relationship between parent and child should be transactional, but I'm just making it logical if that was the case in the first place. I would hope that people pass down something to give to the next generation and not be looking at what they can take from the next generation. Create some opportunities. And if they so choose to give back, they did so out the kindness of their heart. And that's love, just like how you should do so for your kids out of love. But when it starts to be forced and there's hate and resentment, that sounds like financial trauma to me. Just make sure whatever you do is coming from a place of love, and it's not coming from a place of being malicious and evil and having ill intent. Sometimes you are getting what you put out. And another part I wanted to talk about was this part right here.
And your baby trying to start a whole nother family. They're trying to start their legacy. They trying to build their inheritance. And some of y'all sucking off your children's inheritance.
Mm-hmm. And that part right there, I feel like we need to talk about. In a lot of communities, especially mine, if you are doing well, it's almost like you are expected to come back and save everybody. You're expected to save the family. And if you are doing well and you don't, what's wrong with you? Sadly, we start to be sucked dry by the people around us, our loved ones and our family. And I'm talking about you just starting to do a little bit something for yourself. You're just starting to get a little bit of money. You're just starting to climb out of the situations that your family has been in for generation after generation after generation. And you somehow are the one starting to get there. And what's about to happen? It's time to grease some hands. Everybody is ready for their piece. And if you don't do it, you're selfish. You're greedy, you're selfish, and you don't care about nobody but yourself. But I would ask, how can you ever get to a point where you are really able to do for everybody else? Because I'm not saying that the person doing well, if it's your son or your daughter, wouldn't come back to help. But the minute that you start getting momentum, you can't just start throwing stuff in the way to stop the momentum. Then the momentum dries up. Just vision this, a ball rolling down the hill. It's going down the hill. And then I throw a stick right in front of the ball. What is finna do? It's finna stop. A lot of people are the stick, stopping their son or daughter from keeping the momentum to just push through that hill, going all the way down. And not only do they stop the ball one time, once you get the dang stick out the way and you get to going down some more, they come again with another stick. You get a little bit further down that hill, and here go another stick, and there go another stick, and another stick. What do y'all want the person to do? You got to, the minute that something start going well, you can't then just be there with your hand out ready for what you think is yours and your piece of the pie because that's your son or your daughter. See, sometimes the blessing, in my opinion, comes with the patience, but you can't then come with the entitlement, with the anger, feeling like you are owed something because you see something good going. Maybe it's time to just get out the way for a little bit. And what they choose to do, if you let them keep that momentum, might be way better than you setting up these roadblocks getting in the way.
Why is it that one mother can take care of 5 children, but years later, when the mother needs taken care of, 5 children can't take care of one mother.
And the reason I showed that video there is it kind of speaks to what I'm talking about. Like, hey, I did this for you. Why can't you do it for me? Very transactional. It's clear as day. I don't care if you want to deny it. And the comments were very interesting, to say the least. This first one says the question should be, what happened to 5 children that they won't take care of their mother? Now, I'll say, and I'm saying, now let's just go down a few options. She could have been a mother that did everything for her children. And guess what? All of her children could have cut her off. Do I think that that is very likely for a lot of people? No. There might be a reason behind why that happened, and we may not know the full story. Now, another thing could be is it really didn't matter what you did for them because, like I said, this relationship was never supposed to be transactional. But to some people, it is transactional, which kind of goes into the next comment that says, because it's not their job to take care of their mother, relationships are not transactional. And y'all see how many likes these comments are getting. Sometimes it doesn't have nothing to do with you are good or a bad mother, so you deserve this or they should do this. It's not about what you think should happen. It's about reality. You could have did the best you could have been the best mother. You could have won Mother of the Year for all 18 years or Father of the Year for all 18 years, and your kids still may want nothing to do with you. I'm not saying it's right, but it happens, and you could have done everything bad, and sometimes your children will give you the world. But thinking you having children is going to be your retirement plan means that you haven't thought about all the possibilities that can happen. And there are people, these are the comments that the parents who think like that need to see, because it's the reality of different perceptions and thoughts that may not be like yours. The thoughts that your own very children, if you bring them into the world, may have. And I'm saying this because a lot of people that have not done so yet, y'all, please, 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 do not, by any circumstances, bring children into this earth as a retirement plan due to your poor planning, due to you not having your stuff together financially and thinking that your child is now going to play Superman and be a part of the Justice League and come save you. And I don't want this to be a one-sided conversation because there are absolutely children like this right here. This comment says, when my mother began to struggle, I moved in and took care of her for 4 years until she passed. And that was my privilege. There are a lot of children who think like that. And you see, she even got some love here from the creator. And she said, wow, you're very special. And your child might be just like that. No matter how dirty some parents do their children, the kids are still going to show up. That's just the truth. And I'm not saying that this person was being done dirty by their parents, but they will take pride in the fact that they are taking care of you in your old age. I have seen that too. I have seen all different sides of this. Point is, you don't know what you're going to get. So if you haven't done it yet and you're thinking that's a good idea, please consider all sides and different perspectives of this topic. Your children will grow up and have their own free will, whether you think what they're doing is selfish or not, whether you think they should do more or they ain't doing enough or they ain't doing the best they can do. It's not going to matter because it's their life and you can feel how you want to feel about it. But financially, when it comes to raising you, if they're not obligated to do it, it's an unrealistic expectation. And everybody is entitled to their opinion. But I say this as somebody who legit has not brought children into the world because I don't see them like that. And a lot of people that y'all see online that are older talking about this have brought children into this world and are upset that it's not going the way they thought it could go. When we as the adults, before we bring children here, have the mental capacity to make better decisions to affect us in the future. And if your retirement is manufactured with the idea of bringing a child into the world to take care of you and not using other ways to strategize to make sure you can be taken care of, you kind of get what you get. I hope it works well for anybody doing that, but there are other ways, y'all. I feel like you have a better shot at investing into a 401k than to bring a child into the world and thinking that that's going to be your best bet. That's just my thoughts. And I'm saying that as somebody who is setting up for their own future because I don't got nobody to depend on. I tell my mom all the time, she be like, well, who gonna take care of you? People say that all the time. And I'd be like, I'm gonna have to figure it out because that's what grown people do. I'm gonna have to figure it out. But I'm not scared. I'm not walking around scared like, oh my gosh, I don't have any children. Who's going to do it for me? I don't see them like that, which to me shows a level of self-awareness in that I'm not selfish in the fact of I wouldn't bring somebody here to solve all my problems. They would only be here so I could add on to them. And to me, that's love. Do what's best for you. Just make sure whatever you're doing it with the right intent. You're doing it from a place of love, not from a place of lack. Because a lot of y'all having kids in a place of lack and then looking at them later like, yeah, I don't want you to get married because you my house husband. This is not your husband. Your son is going to end up one day trying to move on and start his own life as he should. You cannot be the thing holding him back. That don't even make sense. We all got to spread our wings and fly one day and leave the nest. And whether you like it or not, that is likely what's going to happen. So trying to like handcuff your kids and being mad about any and everybody that come around them because they're a threat to your financial security, that's just not right. That's your son, not your son husband. We have to do better. And again, I hope that anybody that has kids honestly has those kids in a position to where they want to do so because they receive so much love and support from their parents, not from a place of guilt or obligation. But y'all, let me know what you think about all this down below. Should children be expected when they are adults to take care of their parents who are now in their older age? Are the children selfish or are the parents selfish nowadays? I need to know whichever way you think down below in the comments, but we have to start making better decisions today in order to have a better future.